Hello, STEM students. Welcome to part 2 of the discussion about capacitance and dielectrics. For part 1, we've already discussed capacitance and capacitors. This time, we're going to discuss capacitance and dielectrics. What are dielectrics? Dielectrics are insulators between capacitors that decrease the electric field inside the capacitor. The result of decreasing the electric field is an increase in capacitance. So, kung magwo-wonder kayo kasi 'di ba sabi, dapat dalawang parallel plate ng conductor yung meron yung ating capacitor. Tapos sa gitna may insulator. So, paano naging cylindrical yon? Ang ginawa, ayan, halimbawa, metal foil, tapos plastic sheets yung ating insulator. Instead of just one insulator, dalawa yung ilalagay na insulator. Tapos irorolyo yung metal sheets hanggang sa makabuo sila nung cylindrical na capacitor. The same goes with the other shapes. Usually, dalawa yung insulators kasi hindi pwedeng magdikit yung dalawang metal plates. Pag nagdikit yung dalawang metal plates, it will result to zero electric field. So, wala pa rin magiging capacitance. Now, one characteristic of a dielectric is its dielectric constant represented by lowercase letter k. So, wag na naman tayo ulit malilito ha. Kapag ang topic natin ay capacitance, ang k natin ay dielectric constant. Pero kapag ang topic natin yung mga electric field, electric potential, yung k natin ay coulombs constant. Okay? Sasabihin naman yun sa problem usually. Ang dielectric constant sinasabi sa problem or hinahanap sa problem. Hindi siya katulad ng Coulomb's law na dapat alam mo para ma-solve mo yung problem for electric field tsaka electric potential. Dielectric constant is a quantity measuring the ability of a substance to store electrical energy in an electric field. So the dielectric constant depends upon the material used as the dielectric, or in other words, the insulator between the metal plates or metal sheets. So for example, ang inilagay na insulator ay plastic, iba yung magiging dielectric constant niya sa paper. So pag pinalitan mo ng paper yung plastic, mag-iiba yung capacitance ng ating capacitor. Okay? So nakadepende siya yung value niya sa material. So although constant siya, tinatawag siyang dielectric constant siya sa isang particular material, pero nag-iiba-iba siya kapag naiba-iba yung material. Para siyang density. Iba yung density ng water, iba yung density ng specific solids, for example, copper, iba siya sa density ng iron and stuff like that. Parang ganun si the electric constant. But here, it characterizes how it will affect the capacitance of the capacitor. Syempre kapag mas malaki yung dielectric constant, mai-increase niya yung capacitance. Tapos pag mas maliit yung dielectric constant, di-decrease naman niya yung capacitance. So this time, dati yung equation lang natin ay C is equal to ito lang. Epsilon naught times area divided by D. And this time, since ang purpose nga ng dielectric is to increase or decrease the anong tawag dyan? Increase or decrease the capacitance of the capacitor, isasama na natin siya as a factor. Ayan. So kapag hindi na air-filled yung capacitor natin o kaya may insulator na between them aside from air, may bago tayong member of the group or may bagong factor sa ating equation, which is K, that stands for dielectric constant. The dielectric constant is not affected by area, it's not affected by the the distance, and it is not affected by the capacitance. However, it affects the capacitance in a direct manner. So ayan, ito pa rin yung mga representations natin from previous part or part 1. Dinagdagan lang natin ng K, which is the dielectric constant, and it is a pure number, meaning it does not have any unit. On page 64 of your textbook, you will find, wag na natin itong dielectric strength, mag-focus tayo dito sa dielectric constant. Notice na kapag air-filled yung ating capacitor, wala siyang K, although merong dielectric constant ang air. 1 kasi siya. So kapag nilagay mo pa yung dielectric constant na 1, di naman siya makaka-apekto dun sa mismong capacitance. Kaya kahit may air sa pagitan ng dalawang plates, hindi na siya nagmamatter. Kasi 1 lang naman ang dielectric constant ng air. Ayan, so mag-iiba-iba siya. Bakelite, di ako sure dito sa bakelite eh. Dito meron ito yung mica, ginagamit yan para siyang ceramic. Tapos meron nga tayong specific na capacitor na ang tawag ay mica or mica capacitor. Tapos pwede rin yung neoprene, ginagamit to usually sa damit. Pwedeng paper, pwedeng paraffin and stuff. Ito polystyrene, mga plastic, pwede siya. Ayan. Okay? Tapos, kaya rin walang dielectric constant sa equation kapag walang kahit air sa pagitan ng dalawang parallel plates kasi yung vacuum ay meron ding dielectric constant na 1. Notice that water can be used as dielectric. Kaso water yon, tapos ilalagay mo siya sa circuit, may electricity. So kahit gaano kataas, ito super taas talaga ng dielectric constant niya, syempre hindi natin siya ginagamit as insulator para sa ating mga capacitors. So let's have sample problem number 1. Maiksi lang siya kung napapansin nyo kasi dinagdagan lang natin ng letter K or ng dielectric constant. Sabi dito, you have two parallel plates, each with area of 1 meter squared or square meter that are used to construct a parallel plate capacitor. If the dielectric with constant K is equal to 300 is inserted between the plates, and the plates are separated by 0.002 meters, what is its capacitance? Notice, katulad nga ng sinabi ko kanina, paano mo madidistinguish yung K na dielectric constant saka yung K na Coulomb's constant. Pag Coulomb's constant, hindi siya sasabihin sa'yo sa problem. Okay? Pero kapag dielectric constant yung K mo, sasabihin siya sa problem. Either lalagyan niya yung letter K or sasabihin lang niya na the dielectric constant is 300. Ganun lang siya. So let's have the given. The area is 1 square meter. The dielectric constant K is 300. And then the separation distance between the plates is 0.002 meters. So wala ka ng convert dito, no? And don't forget to write the epsilon naught. We're looking for the capacitance. So we're simply going to use the equation with the dielectric constant in it. C is equal to K epsilon naught A divided by D. Substitute everything and we get the answer of 1.33 times 10 raised to negative 5 farad. Now let's proceed to sample problem number 2, which can be found on page 67 of your textbook. The capacitance of an empty capacitor, pag sinabi ring empty capacitor, ito yung capacitor na ang nasa pagitan ng plates ay vacuum, walang air, is 1.5 microfarad. The capacitor is connected to a 15-volt battery and charged up. With the capacitor connected to the battery, a slab of dielectric material is inserted between the plates. This results to an additional charge 2.5 times 10 raised to negative 5 coulomb. What is the dielectric constant of the dielectric? So notice, may dalawa tayong scenario. Initially, wala pang insulator sa pagitan ng plates. Tapos, after some time, nag-decide yung manufacturer siguro na lagyan siya ng dielectric. So ano yung mga given natin? Meron na tayong mga subscript, no? Please take note kung ano yung mga ibig sabihin nila, no? The C sub 1 is the initial capacitance of the capacitor nung wala pa siyang dielectric. That is equal to 1.5 times 10 raised to negative 6 farad. Ito yon, micro kasi. And then yung V, hindi naman nagbago kasi hindi naman niya pinalitan yung battery. So yung voltage natin, walang subscript kasi pareho siya sa first scenario at sa second scenario. And that's going to be equal to 15 volts. And then yung Q sub 2 naman, hindi ito yung pangalawang charge, no? Hindi ito yung bagong charge. Ito yung additional charge. Again, Q2 is the additional charge. Okay? And then epsilon naught, wag kakalimutan, the permittivity of free space. We are looking for the dielectric constant and we're going to use the equation K is equal to C2 over C1. This is something that I did not discuss in the discussion kasi dito ko na lang siya para shortcut sa sample problem. Another thing that you should know is that the dielectric constant is the ratio of the final capacitance and the initial capacitance. Okay? Ayan. So, ito yung isa sa mga ratio na kailangan natin tandaan. K is equal to yung final capacitance, C2, and then, or the, the final capacitance or the capacitance after you add the dielectric. And C1 naman is the original capacitance or the capacitance before you add the dielectric. So aside from this equation, we have to solve for Q1, which is the initial charge using the equation C sub 1 times V. Siyempre, dapat ang kapartner ng Q1 is C1. Again, Q1 means the initial charge. Okay? Kasi, bakit kailangan natin yung initial charge? Kasi kailangan nating makuha yung final charge, itong QT. Kasi yung sinabi lang sa atin, yung additional charge. So, ibig sabihin, nadagdagan. Ito yung dinagdag sa initial charge. So, para makuha natin yung final charge, kailangan nating i-add itong 2.5 times 10 raised to negative 5 doon sa original charge. And then lastly, syempre, kailangan natin yung C2. Para makuha yung C2, may voltage na tayo, kailangan din natin yung Q2, yung Q total. So actually, hindi na pala ito kailangan yung epsilon naught. Naging habit ko lang na isinasama siya sa given, no? Ayan. So now let's proceed to solution number 1, solving for Q1. We substitute and we got Q1 is equal to 2.25 times 10 raised to negative 5 coulomb. And then we get Q sub T, which is the final charge. I-add lang natin yung Q1 na na-solve natin at saka yung tinatawag na additional charge. And then we add them together and we get 4.75 times 10 raised to negative 5 coulomb. Remember, hindi natin isasama ang signs. Wala rin namang sinabing sign dito, kaya okay lang. Next, solution number 3, we solve for C2 by dividing the final charge by the voltage of the battery, and we get 3.17 times 10 raised to negative 6 farad. And then the final solution, we divide the final, itong 3.17, at saka yung given or original capacitance. And then the final answer would be K is equal to 2.11. Remember, walang unit ang dielectric constant. Okay? So, ayun lang. Thank you for listening and see you again to part 3 of capacitance and dielectrics. Bye-bye!